Well, hello, everyone. Thank you to another installment of project recap videos with Quality Counts. This is our third project recap video. We got Rob here from the Raleigh office. Rob, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah, I'm Robert Berryhill. I started with Quality Counts in Tampa, Florida in 2008 and migrated over to North Carolina in 2017. So I've been here ever since. I'm the senior operations manager here at the Raleigh office. So thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, thanks, Rob, for taking the time. You just finished busy season, and yeah. All right, so you got a project for us today. I know nothing about this project except that it was at an airport. Rob, can you give us just an overview of the project, kind of high level?
Sure, yeah, so we were approached by Davenport, who was also working with Kimley Horn, to collect data at the airport, and that consisted of a few different components, but the purpose of the data collection was to gauge different configurations along John Brantley Boulevard. And this is an ongoing project, by the way, but they're going to use the data to select a preferred configuration for John Brantley Boulevard to help support efficient transportation along the curbside of the terminals.
Cool. Can you show us John Brantley Boulevard and kind of like, yeah, I'm curious
Sure.
what the configuration, like what the configurations were they were, trying to optimize.
Sure, let me share my screen here. So it's this outer roadway here, John Brantley Boulevard, and it wraps around RDU Airport. And if you follow it, it goes through Terminal 1 and through this area past International Drive, and then you go into Terminal 2. And we have just all these different data collection points here. And it's to support a picture of what the traffic is, basically how the traffic is performing. And I can't speak on different configurations, but they're using the data to determine what configurations would be best to
Uh-huh.
support the efficient traffic flow around the airport. If you look here, we have all these little green dots. Each of those are 7-day video class counts that we did. Some of them in pretty busy areas of the airport. Some of them kind of on these smaller roadways. But we ultimately chose video to just maintain a level of safety and not interfere too much with the airport traffic, you know.
Yeah, so you did the data collection with video, and this you told me before the call that this was done like late last year, October or so. So then this is probably still an ongoing project, is that right?
It is an ongoing project. That's right. Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to support improvements that likely have yet to be made
Hmm.
and to support the decisions for those.
And maybe decisions that haven't been made, but okay, so they wanted to like re-engineer the roadway here, maybe make changes to the routes, and they needed data. Um, they being, was it the city of Raleigh, or was it were you working, was the agency that Davenport and Kimley were working for, was that the Raleigh, or was that the airport?
RDU Airport Authority is who Kim and Horn was working directly with and dispersing the different tasks.
Okay.
Davenport worked underneath Kimley Horn and helped support them with that as well. So
Okay. All right. So they wanted a bunch of data. What all did they need from us? Tell us more about the data collection.
sure. So I already just talked about these 7-day counts with all these green points here. We also had 2 key points for volume, speed, and class. We did those with radars. So these are this purple spot here. This was a pretty vital area because it's in between the 2 terminals. And there's some congestion that could happen here.
Uh-huh.
And we had another one of those speed volume class points over here, more towards the airport exit.
And we did the speed data collection with cameras,
We did that with radar
with radar. Okay.
for this one back in October. We also did a origin destination study, and we can do these a number of different ways, but this one just happened to be, the geometry of the curve of the roadway and the distance between our OD points just happened to be short enough to where we could do it with visual line of sight tracking. So we didn't have to get too crazy with this portion. You hear OD studies and there's just so many different ways you could do it, but we were fortunate enough with this where we could just use our high mounted cameras and actually just track the vehicles as they went along each of these possible paths.
Yeah, nice. To set up several cameras and then just track them visually through the several cameras, car by car. Okay, then let's see. So yeah, can you tell us about some of the challenges? This feels like a unique place to do data collection. Yeah, can you touch on the challenges?
Sure, I definitely think that it was primarily with the planning of the project. Specifically, I mean, if you look over here, this is probably the bulk of the work for this project is our special curbside terminal classing, where we had to have, visual of the entire stretch of this curbside for, terminal 2 on the lower deck, and then also on the upper terminal 2. And we had to have all of these vantage points. But if you look here, I mean, there's only so much information you can get from Google Maps when planning this stuff out. You just see the sheer number of cameras we had at both terminals for this. But we realized we were going to have to do some on-site planning. So Davenport was kind enough to kind of escort us around the airport and allow us to take several photos of different possible poles and mounting structures, which was really helpful. And they relayed that back to RDU Airport, who gave us some feedback and let us know what we could use, what they maybe didn't want us to use. And it was really helpful because when we got out, on site to set this project up, we pretty much had our poles selected.
So all of those V's are cameras.
That's right. Yeah, it's a ton of cameras.
Why were there so many cameras on the Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 sides? Looks like they're every, 100 feet.
Yeah, we littered it with cameras. It was basically to get full coverage, and we didn't want to have to worry about occlusion from the shuttles, because this is all for these two areas on the terminals. This is all for curbside dwell time. So naturally, vehicles are stopping, and you're going to have some occlusion. So we wanted to combat that also with having kind of opposing sides of the roadway you see here. That way, if any of these big buses or vehicles that are hard to see around block one of the cameras, we had a lot of different backup options so we could see what kind of vehicles they were and classify them.
How many cameras did you need, and did you have enough on hand, or did you have to pull some from another office?
I think we were plenty busy at the time to where we didn't have to pull in any extra cameras, surprisingly, but we had 19 camera angles at Terminal 1, I believe, for the both inner and outer curbsides. And then for Terminal 2, we had a lower area and then an upper deck area. So we had to fill in with a few more angles. We're talking like 30 angles for this Terminal 2, which is quite a bit because each of them were backed up as well.
Wow. So total over 100 cameras for this whole project?
Close to 100. Yeah, sure.
Nice. Okay, then you've been a great operations manager for quite a while now. Are you still learning new things from a complex project like this? And if so, like, what did you learn? From this project?
I would say as much planning as you can pour into a project is, it's really great to have that beforehand, but things change. And even if you think you have the perfect picture, things can be a little different when you're actually out there setting up. And you have to think about the end result, what it's going to look like in the processing, stage, and you have to really think ahead. So I think that instead of having a set it and forget it mentality, you have to just be ready to change things on the fly And
Yeah.
I think this project definitely was a testament to that.
Yeah, and you were redundant with the cameras because there's things you don't know. You don't want to. This isn't a project where you want to like, oh, we missed something, let's just refilm it. You want it all filmed at the same time. The client wants it all filmed at the same time.
Yeah.
So you wanted extra cameras just in case something popped up that you didn't know. The worst thing here is to tell the client we missed this one thing, and now what? What do? We have to do this over again. So yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Rob. This is great. I appreciate you taking the time. Anything?
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.